Okay, here I want to start talking about the public, private, default, and protected access modifiers in Java. So what does that mean? That means that we can set our attributes and our methods to be private or public or to default or to protected. And let's go through those to see exactly what that means. So here we have the main class that I've been using in our previous examples, and we're going to continue to build on this. And what are we going to build? Well, we're going to still use this adds Ferrari object, right, which is going to create a new Ferrari. And let's go into that file, which is like this. It looks like this, and we have a go fast method. What I want to show you is that we can have an integer called speed, right, for a variable, and we could say that's 400 miles an hour. Well, this is considered default, right? What does that mean? That means that we can access speed in default or also known as package, by the way, default or package. That means that anything, any class, right, any file that's within the same package can access this speed attribute. So what does that mean? That means that from here, for example, we can say something like class main is in the same package because it's the default package anyway. Doesn't have anything. And here we can say something like system.out.println. Go ahead and print adds Ferrari dot speed. This is using dot notation. Let's print this out and let's see what happens. We should get 400. And we do get 400. So what does that mean? That means that what I'm saying is proof that if it's in the same package and the main class is in the same package, well, we can directly access speed, right? So what else can we do? Well, we can say this is private. And that means that only this class within this Ferrari class, you should be able to access it. That means that somebody else, like the main class, should not be able to access it. And you can see the IDE is already telling us that this is a private variable, right? We have private access here. So if we ran this, this is going to blow up, and we should get something just like this, which the IDE is telling us at compile time that there's an issue. And in fact, when we run it at runtime, we get this issue here, which is great. So far, so good. Okay. What else do we have? Well, we also have, so there's default, there's private, which we just showed. There's also public, right? There's also public. And public means that, sure, anything outside and within, we can access this variable. So that means that if we ran this, and we could see the IDE is not telling us an indication here that there's an issue with the speed access, and we can see that we do get 400 here. That's in fact what we get. So the last one that we should cover is not public but protected, and that means that anything that's in the same class, same package rather, or that it is a subclass of Ferrari, can go ahead and get this attribute, or get this this variable speed, right? This attribute called speed. So here we can see if we ran this, if we close this and we ran it again, this should still work. And that proves that so far we are correct. And again, we can access that. That means, remember that protected means that if it's in the same class or subclass, right? So, for example, Super Ferrari can have access to Ferrari if Super Ferrari extends Ferrari. And in this case, not only it's in the same class, it's a subclass, but it's in the same package, so it should work anyway. But that's just something to think about. Now, just because we can do this, it doesn't mean we should, right? Just because we have something like this, it doesn't mean we should. Why? Because we're accessing these attributes directly, and that means that we can manipulate it directly, and that's not a good thing, right? So in the next video, we're going to talk about why this is not a good practice, and what can we do to avoid accessing properties like this directly, which is a big concept in software engineering and just in object-oriented programming in general. So again, we talked about in this video about the access modifiers in Java. That's just so that we are aware. But now let's talk about in the next video, what's the best rule of thumb, what are the best practices to deal with these access modifiers, and we'll get into it a little bit. I hope this helps.